All right. Hey, good evening, everybody. Good to see everybody here this evening. Welcome, 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 welcome. Anybody have any big ahas or awarenesses or something spooky spectacular they would like to share before we get started? We're going to do chapter 11, acting in a certain way. Yeah, baby. Doo, doo, doo. All right, chapter 11, acting in a certain way. Thought is the impelling force which causes creative power to act. Let's hear that again. Thought is the impelling force. Am I saying that right? Yeah, impelling. What does that mean? What does that mean to you, the impelling force? An impeller in a pump moves stuff, right? A propeller on a prop propels stuff. What does an impelling force do? Think about that. What does it do? What does it mean to be an impelling force?
A driver,
Okay.
a, a
And
driving force.
a driving
I
force.
yeah.
Okay. I love it. So thought is that. So how often do we think?
How often do we think?
Yeah.
Probably not as much as we ought
Well,
to.
let me ask this. How often do we consciously direct our thinking? If we have 80,000 thoughts a day,
Not enough. That's a whole lot of thoughts to
that's a
direct.
whole lot of thinking. And if 80% of those are repetitive, habitual, and 80% of those 80% are not typically always in our favor, how much thinking are we really doing, right? This is where the term maybe stinking thinking. So thought is the impelling force which causes the creative power. Does it say positive or negative creative power? It just says the creative power, what you think about and think about. That's why it doesn't hear the negative. I don't want to smoke. It only hears I want to smoke. I don't want to be fat. Okay, fatty, here we go. Thinking in the certain way will bring you riches, but you must not rely upon thought alone, paying no attention to personal action. That is the rock upon which many otherwise scientific metaphysical thinkers meet shipwreck. Failure to connect thought with personal action. State and then the doing, right? We have not yet reached a stage of development in which a person can directly from the formless substance without nature's processes or the work of human hands. A person must act as well as think. But thought can cause the gold in the hearts of the mountains to be impelled toward you. By thought, you can cause the gold in the hearts of the mountains to be impelled toward you, but it will not mine itself, refine itself, coin itself into double eagles, and come rolling along the streets into your pockets. Under the impelling force of the supreme power, people's affairs will be so ordered that someone will be led to mine the gold for you. Remember the 4 ways to create an income? Who remembers number 1? Right? The Asians, right? Manipulation, coordination, communication, imagination. So, under the impelling force of the supreme power, people's affairs will be so ordered, organized, put directly in place, strategies laid out beyond your wildest dreams, that someone will be led to mine the gold for you. Be led to act on the thoughts you have, the dreams you have. And another person's business transaction will be so directed that the gold will be brought toward you. You must arrange your own business affairs so that you are able to receive it when it comes to you. You ever hear the phrase tripping over dollars to pick up dimes? The dollars are there. The gold is there. We have to ready ourselves to receive it. See, we can have a thought. Thoughts trigger what? Emotions. And the challenge is that we think, Rich, I'm so wealthy, I'm so efficient, I'm so powerful, I'm so sexy, I'm so this. And then what happens? We have our thought and we have our emotion. We have our thought and we have our emotion. What could influence thought and emotion? What could influence the impelling force that thought has action over? What changes the way that we wind up thinking and feeling? Our results, our current results, our past results, everything up until the moment you decide that you are going to step into your future gratitude. I want more business. I want more people. I got nobody. I'm not good. I'm going to Sean's call and I'm going to get wired up and I'm going to listen and I'm going to get excited and my business is going to grow and my business is going to grow and I'm on fire. I'm on fuego. And nobody joined me today. And all of a sudden it's gone. And you've just asked the formless substance to say, put the brakes on all the gold that was coming my way, being impelled towards me. Because we're using our outside results. Let me ask you this. The goals that you have, the goals that every one of you have, is it possible that the results you would get would be unlike anything you've ever had? This is yes, and this is no. Would it be possible then that the gifts that you will receive will be unlike any result you've ever received in the past? Then how could you use anything that you have already had a result with? So now what do we have to sit in? We have to sit in gratitude and we have to sit in faith. Gratitude builds faith. How grateful can you be for the unseen, for the unwitnessed? Because I can promise you this, the best results that you have are nothing compared to the results that you want. This is why acting in a certain way. Yes, Louise.
Is it faith that creates the space that we need to receive what's waiting for us? Because I keep hearing space and it's not, it's all waiting, but there's no space for it. So
what does space look like? What would you imagine it in your mind? There's no wrong answer to this, so I'm just asking. It's not a trick.
It would be clear of the clutter of old story.
Okay. So what does old story do in that space?
Blocks it.
Okay. Changes the space's vibration, doesn't it?
Yes.
So isn't space vibration?
Yes.
So doesn't the thing you already want, already exist?
Yes.
So isn't it already in a space?
It is in a space.
It's already in a space. So then we don't have to create space for it.
Oh, okay.
We have to elevate ourselves to arrive at it.
Repeat that one more time.
So have you ever been to an airport?
Yes.
Have you ever been to an airline lounge?
Yes.
So when you go in, have you ever been a member of an airline lounge?
No.
Okay, but you've been to one.
Yes.
How did they make space for you? It was already there. They had enough space for you.
Yes.
So there's no space needed to be created. Yours was a vibration through association. Maybe somebody invited you in, you had a first class ticket, you got in, whatever it was, is that you got in because of the vibration that you held, the moniker, the label, the title, the vibration. I am allowed in. So can you step into the space of your greatest dream? That's called gratitude and faith. The space, it's already exists. We don't have to build it. But when they say build it from the formless substance, it's when you hold the image in your thought. It gets built before it ever arrives. True?
True.
So then it's already in space. When you what beverage do you drink in the morning? Tea, coffee, water?
First water.
Okay. So you're having water. So did you have to make space for the water, or did it already exist?
It already existed.
So you just had to turn on the tap.
Basically, yeah.
So you had to be in vibration to access the water through whatever means, turning a tap, pouring it out of a pitcher, going to the refrigerator.
Right.
Right. And in that vibration of you wanting water, what did you have to do personally? Take action.
I had
Now,
had
how
to
many
get a
times have you
container to put it in.
Right.
Okay.
That's because you wanted to move, in essence, the unlimited source into a limited location so that you could have access to it. But you
Yes.
have unlimited access to fresh water. So do you have unlimited access to your dreams? Yes.
I do.
We just have to be in the vibe. We just have to get our ass up and go over and say, hey, here for my dreams, please.
Okay. Okay, so there's no create. Yes,
We have to create our ability to access the space that it already exists.
right. Okay.
So imagine the combination on the door of your dreams. And it only opens up. You know those games where you put on a headset and you can move the ball on the screen? Have you ever seen those? You put on a headset and it's literally a game. I had this 20 years ago. I had a device that I held my hand on it, and I had a device on my head, and I could literally move on the computer screen. I was using my head to move it through a maze, using my mind and frequency.
Oh my gosh, that's cool.
So imagine being able to move through our dreams and accessing it. Have you ever walked to the door of your dream and said, open, please?
I have
That's
not.
that simple phrase would it gives you, again, because we live in this label world of things having identities. The fact that you could just say, now walk up to a door, imagine a hallway full of dreams, and this is your of maybe it's 5 doors. This is your family and your finance and your relationships and your society and your all of this. And each door you open up and you say, please open up and allow me. It's almost accessing what Bert Goldman talks about as your doppelganger in the quantum jumping realm. So that when we talk about creating space, it's meditation to be able to allow ourselves and leave this level of vibration to access the new level of vibration, which is a different space, different frequency.
Okay.
To help?
It absolutely does.
Good.
I had the wrong vocabulary and it was stuck in my head. Thank you for repeating
Thank
it
you for
several
asking.
times.
And
Sorry?
when we create space, it's the ability to create and hold the thought.
Right, right.
So it's not true that we have to create space. Yet the thing that we want is already there. As soon as we give the universe the picture, it gets built before it arrives. This isn't the IKEA method of a goal achieving. Here you go, and here's your Allen wrench. Don't lose it.
Is it is the use of the word create is there a place for that, or because it sounds to me like creating the vibration. I mean, elevating the vibration is creating a greater vibration to get to that space.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. I'm good with that.
So imagine you walked in, you were going to a concert and it was a megapalooza, and the space is where all the music plays, but there's different bands that come up, and you go because you like this, but you like Styx or Def Leppard, but then Jay-Z and Rap City comes on, you're like, that's not my vibration, and you go get a hot dog. Right? But it's the same space, but the vibrations change. And when it changes, sometimes we don't leave it and we try to, I'm going to make that artist. I'm going to make my dream work. You've got to get to a different space. And maybe space should be frequency, vibration, awareness.
That resonates with me.
Cool.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you.
You're-
Thank you.
you're
Thank
welcome.
You, thank you.
You must arrange your own business affairs so that you are able to receive it when it comes to you. Your thoughts make all things animate, and inanimate work to bring you what you want. However, your personal activity must search that you can rightly receive what you want when it reaches you. Hang on. Let's look at that again. Your thoughts make all things, animate and inanimate, work to bring you what you want. However, your personal activity must be such that you can rightly receive what you want when it reaches you. Sometimes we have been able to force good things to happen, right? Jim Rohn said, never do a good deal with a bad person. It's not worth it. Oh my God, this would be so good. But there's an element in there that makes it not good. And that will always usually come back and bite you right in the ankle. Maybe a little bit higher if it was bad, or badderer. You are not to take it as charity or steal it. You must give every person more in use value than he gives you in cash value. This is huge, acting in a certain way. You must give more in use value than you do in cash value. Some of you are limiting your ability to invoice or charge for your coaching and training because you feel limited in your capabilities. I was talking to somebody the other day, and they have this business that when clients were coming in, they would sit with the clients as if they were adult daycare. I'm like, you probably don't need to really be sitting with the clients. And they changed some things. Now, all of a sudden, they have 3 clients at a time and their business is growing. It's kind of cool. And the challenge is that when you change that identity, when you give every person more in use value, the thing is that you have to understand, you have to be the one that understands the use value that you are giving in order for you to receive the cash value. Right? It's the old FedEx story. Y'all remember the FedEx story? Whole conveyors are shut down, everything else. FedEx, the company, FedEx is shut down in Kentucky. They can't transfer anything. Everything is delayed. It's costing them millions of dollars per hour, and they hire it, and everybody, all the engine, right? And there's one mechanic comes in. He says, oh, okay. He goes to this box in the center of the thing, flips a switch, turns it on, and the whole production facility runs. And they go, how much is that? $10,000. You were here for 5 minutes. 5 minutes. We need a breakdown of that. $100 to turn the screw, $9,900 to know which screw to turn. You guys are worth $10,000 because you know which screw to turn for your clients. But because you do it effortlessly, because you're still helping people out of poverty, they don't see the reality of it. But yet they experience the benefit of it. They don't see the reality of it, but they experience the benefit of it. How many of you know what I'm talking about? Their relationships seem to get better. Their wellness gets better. They get to go see their kids. They go on a trip they didn't know they could, but they don't associate it with the energy that you poured into them, the use value that you gave them. The scientific use of thought consists of forming a clear and distinct mental image of what you want, in holding fast to your purpose to get what you want, holding fast, strongly, consistently to your purpose to get what you want. What's your purpose of what you're doing? What's your purpose? Ask yourself that. What is my purpose of doing what I'm doing? This has caused some people to change careers, to change occupations. What is the purpose of what you're doing? The dream that you're doing, the goal that you want, what is the purpose of it? And in realizing with grateful faith that you do get what you want. The scientific use of thought consists of forming a clear and distinct mental image of what you want, in holding fast to your purpose to get what you want, and in realizing with grateful faith that you do get what you want. Man, I just wish I could get more income. I wish I could grow my business. That's not understanding. That is not sitting and realizing in grateful faith that you do get what you want. Because here's what happens. What does come to us? A lot of times it's the things we don't want. It's because we were thinking about them. We think we're only allowed to have pain and misery. Do not try to project your thought in any mysterious or occult way with the idea of having to go out and do things and having it go out and do things for you. Do not try to project your thought in any mysterious or occult way with the idea of having it go out and do things for you. That is wasted effort and will weaken your power to think with sanity. In the preceding chapters, I have fully explained the action of thought in getting rich. You must use your faith and purpose to positively impress your vision upon the formless substance, which has the same desire for more life than you have. That is just, I hope I'm doing a good enough job to emphasize that it wants you to have more and do more, and it wants you to experience life more than you can even believe possible. You must use faith and purpose to positively impress your vision upon the formless substance, which has the same desire for more life than you have. And this vision, received from you, sets all the creative forces at work in and through their regular channels of action, but directed toward you. Do you realize what's working for you? When it settles in, when you grasp the sheer complexity and depth and versatility and usefulness of all of this that's moving, that wants to move in your direction. I don't think crazy. I think it might be time to think a little cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. It is not your part to guide or supervise the creative process. This is where we say, well, how's that going to work? Not my job, baby. I don't know. I don't know how it's going to work. If I knew how it was going to work, I'd have a different title. I don't know how it's going to work. I just know that it is. I know that anytime I've asked, how many of you have ever worried about or wondered about, I wonder how they put the water in the coffee pot to make my coffee this morning? Not at your house, when you go out. I wonder what the truck driver was thinking when he delivered the steaks from Cisco to the steakhouse. Anybody ever worry about the truck driver or the vegetable guy who delivered the fruits and veggies for the restaurant today? Then why are you trying to figure out how your life is going to go? It's sit in state and let it do its work. It wants to work hard for you. Give it a better picture. Give it a clearer picture. It is not your part to guide or supervise the creative process. All you have to do with that is to retain your vision. Stick to your purpose and maintain your faith and gratitude. But you must act in a certain way so that you can appropriate what is yours when it comes to you. So that you can accept the things in your picture and put them in their proper places. You can readily see truth of this. When things reach you, they will be in the hands of other people who will ask an equivalent for them. You can only get what is yours by giving the other person what is his. You can only get what is yours by giving the other person what is his. See, we're not disappointed when we order something from Amazon and it shows up because we paid the price. We're not shocked when we do our own self-checkout at Walmart. Maybe your Walmarts don't have where you become a Walmart employee, but up here in Clinton, Arkansas, we do. I think they're everywhere. So I check out, and I'm not surprised when I get the bill at the end of checking out because it's everything that I picked up from the store and I got to pay for it. Your pocketbook will not become bottomless. It will not always be full of money without effort on your part. Receiving is the crucial point in the science of getting rich. I'd circle that, highlight that, put a star next to it. Receiving is the critical point in the science of getting rich. Right here, where thought and personal action must be combined. There are many people who, consciously or unconsciously, set the creative forces in action by the strength and persistence of their desires. Little children seem to be that, right? Yes, their persistence. Mommy. Ask your father, daddy, right? There are many people who consciously or unconsciously set the creative forces in action by the strength and persistence of their desires. However, they remain poor because they do not provide for the reception of the thing they want when it comes. Listen to that again. There are many people who consciously or unconsciously set the creative forces in action by the strength and persistence of their desires. Oh man, I want to be rich. I want to be rich. I'm so ready to be rich. I'm ready to be rich. I'm going to do the action. I'll pay the price. However, they remain poor because they do not provide for the reception, aka shift in identity, for the thing they want when it comes. How many people do we know lose weight? They get back into their high school clothes and then they get fat again. They weren't ready for the identity of the skinny them. Everybody around them knew them as a little bit overweight, chunky, big boned, you name it. You win a scratch off, $10,000. Well, aren't you lucky? No, not really. It's available to everybody, but that's a game of luck. I usually win when I play. I get a feeling, I follow it. It's not really gambling if you know you're going to win. Think about that. What if you knew, right? Dorothy Brand in her book, Living, something Living. She talks about the key, the number one thing, the thing that changed everything is act as if you could not fail. Act as if failure is not an option. Guess what happens? Failure is not an option. By thought, the thing you want is brought to you. By action, you receive it. Some of you can already see your thing, see the thought in your head, see the picture, see the detail. It's time to act in a certain way to bring that thing so you can receive it. Whatever your action is to be, it is evident that you must act when? Now. Now. You cannot act in the past. Well, there's a shocker. It is essential to the clearness of your mental vision that you dismiss the past from your mind. Oof, how hard is that? Somebody got a pill for that? It is essential to the clearness of your mental vision that you dismiss the past from your mind. There's the secret right there. I'm not good enough. That didn't last time I did that didn't work. Dismiss out, baby. You cannot act in the future because the future is not here yet. And you cannot tell how you will want to act in any future contingency until the contingency has arrived. Right? That's I don't know what the psychological name they have for there's a train coming down the track. There's 3 people on the track. And you could flip a switch and send the track down one side and it would only kill one person. So 1 person or 3 people are going to die. Which would you pick? The 1 person. It's your sister. Changes the story. All right? So the contingent, I don't know what I would do, which you probably don't, because that's an acting in a place in a contingency that the contingency isn't real. It's just hypothetical. So can you get the hypothetical of your dream out and know that it's real? And you cannot tell how you will want to act in any future contingency until that contingency has arrived, because you are not in the right business or the right environment now. Do not think you must postpone action until you get into the right business or environment. Do not postpone action. And do not spend time in the present planning the best course in possible future emergencies. How many of us kind of felt that one land a little close to home? And do not spend time in the present planning the best course in possible future emergencies. Have faith in your ability to meet any emergency when it arrives. If you act in the present with your mind on the future, your present action will be the divided mind and will not be effective. Put your whole mind into the present action. Do not give your creative impulse to the original substance and then sit down and wait for results. If you do, you will never get them. Act now. There is never any time but now, and there will never be any time but now. If you are ever to begin to make ready for the reception of what you want, you must begin now. That's why my email address is Sean G. Murphy. No. Your action must be in your present business or employment and must be upon the persons and things in your present environment. Well, when I get to the new place, I'll start then. Now. Everybody say it now. You cannot act where you are not. You cannot act where you have been. You cannot act where you are going to be. You can act only where you are. Do not dwell on whether yesterday's work was well or poorly done. Do today's work well. Do not try to do tomorrow's work now. There will be plenty of time for that when tomorrow comes. Do not try by occult or mystical means to act on people or things that are out of your reach. Do not wait for a change of environment before you act. Cause a change of environment through action. You cannot act upon your present environment so as to cause yourself to be transferred to a better environment. I'm sorry, you can act upon your present environment so as to cause yourself to be transferred to a better environment. If you remember in The Secret, where he talks about the comedian, this is where Bill Harris from Centerpoint Research is talking. And he says, I had this guy write me a letter. And he says, I hate my job and all my coworkers make fun of me. And every time I do stand up, I get heckled. You remember that? And he says, well, of course that happens. It's all right there in your email. You are causing the universe to bring you exactly what you want. So he sat down and he changed the way he was doing things, and the vibrations, boo, right? That vibration they send out into the universe. In the next 8 weeks, all of his coworkers either quit or were transferred to a different place. He had all new coworkers. And when he started to do his comedy stand-up, he would get standing ovations. Change the way you look at things, and the things you look at change. It's not about doing certain things, it's about doing them in a certain way. Do not wait for a change of environment before you act. Cause a change of environment through your action. You can act upon your present environment so as to cause yourself to be transferred to a better environment. Hold with faith and purpose the vision of yourself in a better environment. But act upon your present environment with all your heart and with all your strength and with all your mind. Do not spend any time in daydreaming or castle building. Do not hold one vision of what you want. Hold the one vision of what you want and act now. Do not cast about seeking some new thing to do or some strange or unusual or remarkable action to perform as a first step toward getting rich. For some time to come, your actions will probably be the same as those you have been performing. But now you will perform those actions in a certain way, which will surely make you rich. For some time to come, your actions will probably be the same as those you have been performing, but now you will perform those actions in a certain way, which will surely make you rich. If you're engaged in some business and feel that it is not the right one for you, do not wait until you get into the right business before you begin to act. Do not feel discouraged or sit down and lament because you are always in the wrong place. No person was ever so misplaced that he could not find the right place. And no person was ever so involved in the wrong business that he could not get into the right business. Hold the vision of yourself in the right business with the purpose to get into it and the faith that you will get into it. But act in your present business. Use your present business as the means of getting a better one, and use your present environment as a means of getting into a better one. Your vision of the right business, if held with faith and purpose, will cause the supreme power to move the right business toward you. And your action, if performed in a certain way, will cause you to move toward the business. If you are an employee and feel that you must change places in order to get what you want, do not project your thought into space and rely upon it to get you another job. It will probably fail to do so. Hold the vision of yourself in the job you want while you act with faith and purpose on the job you have, and you will certainly get the job you want. Your vision and faith will set the creative force in motion to begin to bring it toward you, and your action will cause the forces in your own environment to move you toward the place you want. In closing this chapter, I will add another statement to the syllabus. There is a thinking stuff from which all things are made, and which, in its original state, permeates, penetrates, and fills the inner spaces of the universe. A thought in this substance produces the thing that is imagined by the thought. A person can form things in his thought, and by impressing Those thoughts upon the formless substance can cause the thing he thinks about to be created. In order to do this, a person must pass from the competitive to the creative mind. He must form a clear mental picture of the things he wants and must hold this picture in his thoughts with the fixed purpose to get what he wants and an unwavering faith that he will get what he wants, closing his mind to all that may tend to shake his purpose, dim his vision, or quench his faith, that he may receive what he wants when it comes. A person must act now upon the people and things in his present environment. Questions, thoughts, comments, takeaways, ahas. What'd you learn? What'd you like? All righty, chapter 11. There you go.
One thing that really stood out to me is the statement, put your whole mind into present action. And it made me think of all the times that I've been a little scattered with my mind, not my whole mind. My whole mind in use, but not with a singular focus.
So what's the new shift? What's the new awareness now with that understanding? So what might you adapt, new, shift, change, allow?
Sharpened focus.
And so what would that look like? Just pick a topic. Your workout.
Okay.
What would sharpened focus for your workout look like? What would be the new, you did the certain thing, but now doing it in a certain way? What would be the certain way that would enhance it, that would bring you riches beyond belief?
Being present the entire time.
So what in the past
Not
has taken you out of that?
thoughts of, okay, this client is going to be here today and this is what we need to work on. That client is going to be here today and this is what we need to work on. Oh, I need to order supplements. You know, it's trying to fit everything else into that period of time instead of being present and focused on the one thing.
So can you give yourself time to do the prep? Can you have a prep time so that you can have a present time?
Certainly.
So if first thing in the morning, you pull out all of the files of the clients that are coming in, 3, 4, 2, 10, and say, this one needs this, so that when you walk into do whatever it is with that client, you've got the sticky note on the front. Here's the topics I'd like to cover with you today. And then say, listen, if these are the topics, then I want to be and say this, I am going to choose to be present with you during this exercise, workout, transformation, whatever it is, so that we can have a 10x result. And then ask for their presence too.
Yes.
Does sometimes their non-presence take you out of your presence?
Certainly.
So maybe part of your new criteria, your new set of advancing certain ways, acting in a certain way, is that you ask them to be present as well. Ask them, is there anybody that's going to the hospital having a baby that you need to have your phone on? Is it okay if if you allow me to do what I do better by you being able to be present with me?
That is certainly a reasonable request.
Right? And say, listen, you've got to get a better return. You've got to get more. I've been told I have to give you more in use value than you've paid me. And I get that I'm pretty good at what I do, but I want to make sure that you get the full value. I want you to, right? You could, in your mind, what you're wanting them to say is bonus time. I could end our agreement right now, and I've received more in use value than I paid you. And what if you allowed your clients to do bonus time? So what is the non-tangible that only you can provide them that maybe they couldn't hear or you didn't have time to say before? What's the certain way you can now do things that would give them the $1,000 worth of value in every session? And now all of a sudden
Wow.
expansion thinking comes. It's you provide more than $1,000 worth of value. The challenge is that you're running through check boxes and you're so used to it, people don't even realize the value you give them because they're so used to it. I'm I'm probably the guiltiest of anybody on this call. 1,800 episodes, 1,800 hours of content, 1,800, 5,000, 6,000 hours of content. It's my karmic yoga. I don't do it for that. I do it to stay sharp for myself. I do it so that I can present, practice in private, present, right? Perform in public. I do it so that I can be in a performance. Are you performing or are you practicing when you sit with your clients? And if you're performing, they paid a price for the ticket. Give them a good show. And of course, talking to you, Debbie comes through the door. Say hi to your girlfriend, Heather. Say hi to Heather.
Hey, Debbie. Hey, Debbie.
Debbie. Ruth, I
Thank you.
spoke to Larry Prophet today. We'll talk about that in a second. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Heather.
I just said thank you.
So what shifts now? Oh, it's a rata. You and that shift. Take your shifting and shove it.
No, it's bringing to light where things have not been cohesive.
I love it. No, would you, why are you tearing up? You always figure out a way to sit on my thing and tear it. I love you. Dub. Say hi, Heather. Say hi, Heather. Say hi. And then jealous. Okay, here we go, boy. Oh, what? 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 Tell me. What? Tell me a story. Okay, good night. Love it. Hey, Fee. Hello, baby girl. Who else? Thoughts, comments, questions, takeaways, ahas?
I have a question.
Yes, go ahead.
Well, first tell me about Larry Prophet.
So I was talking to Dave Johnson. Yes.
Mm.
And I was talking to Dave Johnson, and he was telling me about his story, and I'm like, I wasn't sure it was the same Dave Johnson because
It is.
I never had a
Yeah.
conversation with him. And so we were talking, and then he said 11 kids and light bulbs. I said, hang on. I said, I want to let you know I know you. 20 years ago, 22 years ago, I sat in audiences where you spoke and you talked and we talked. And then we went down a path, and he was telling me about some things that he's doing now. And I said, I got to say, do you still, I'm sure you maybe still, he mentioned Larry's name. I said, Larry Prophet. I said, the Larry Prophet? He said, yeah. I said, Larry Prophet's one of the reasons I'm in this industry. I wouldn't know at the time of how to have expressed my gratitude towards him. I said, but 23 years later, I would probably have a way to say thank you to him. So next time you talk to him and he goes, hang on. I said, he's calling Larry Prophet.
Ah,
Larry's 85 years old.
I
So,
thought he was pretty old.
somebody Pang passed away. David
Yes,
Pang?
Danny
Yes.
Danny
Danny
Pang.
Pang, yes.
Danny
So
Pang,
that
yeah.
was
But he was
that,
young, only
yeah.
63.
That's how he answered the phone. He goes, oh, so he saw it was Dave Johnson calling,
Mhm.
and he answered and he goes, oh my gosh, did you hear Danny Pang passed away? And
Yeah.
David, right? Because he didn't know he was getting a three-way, having me on it. So he goes, hey, Larry, he says, we're having a little family reunion here. Sean's was with us way back when, and he told me how important you were. And I just thought it would be cool. He says, hey, Sean, how are you? And I said to him, I said, Larry, I said, 23 years ago, I wouldn't have known how to say thank you to you, but you're a big reason why I'm still in this profession, because I now know how to grace you with hopefully kind words. You're the epitome of who you are, speak so loud. I didn't need to hear what you were saying. I said, in the way that you taught us the hug and everybody wanted a Larry Prophet hug, I said, I've made it a mission in my life to give a hug as good, as at least as good, and maybe a little better than Larry Prophet. I think after 20 years, I've accomplished that because people really want it. But I just needed you to know that you're a reason why my family's success has been because of this industry. And he was in tears. He goes, I can't believe this. What an amazing conversation. He says, you never know when a little thing, and we all know there's no little things, can make a big difference. I said, no, Larry, I'm excited and I appreciate you. And it's kind of one of those iconic moments. He was a person that he was an icon to me. I don't know that I could have ever sat in the rooms. But later on, when I was in the kin, I sat in some of the rooms of the people who took his position, and they were not iconic. They were catastrophic, but that's another story. So yeah, that was my Larry Prophet. And the whole time I'm thinking, oh my gosh, I can't wait to tell Ruth.
Oh my gosh, that's so way cool. I figured he was pretty old. Yeah, 85 sounds about right.
Yep. And,
Wow.
just sharp and doing fun and having fun and doing him and Dave are working together in a company. And I thought it was just cool.
It is
How
cool.
in this industry, 23 years later, you can, they always say never meet your icons. You shouldn't meet your icons. Sometimes you'll be very disappointed. I always knew if I ever had a chance to talk to Larry, I'd never be disappointed. And 23 years later, proved right.
That is so way cool.
Isn't that cool? I love it. It's
Yes.
like 23 years. So
Oh
cool.
my goodness.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
It was mind blowing. And to have the presence to not get all starstruck and everything. I just said, Larry, you're a stud. And he was laughing. So I thought it was way cool.
Wow. That is
So
way cool.
so go ahead with your question.
Okay, so I wanted guidance. I set myself a goal for 6,000 points every month because that's what I need in 10 months to finish up the incentive, even though I have
so
12
change
months.
that. That's the problem, right? There's the
Okay.
issue. I
Okay.
need,
Yes.
right?
Okay, so every month has done well, but this
Yes.
month I did 6,000 by the middle of the month. And I thought,
Yep.
oh, if I could do 6,000 half a month, I could do double that. And then I realized there was another incentive that if I did 14,000 this month instead of 6,
Yep.
I could be eligible to win an incentive trip,
Yep.
which I wasn't going to go after because I thought, oh yeah, that's not in my, I'm not going to do that. But now I feel like it's a possibility.
Well, it's not a
Not sure where it's going to come
possibility.
from.
It's an actuality. Do you want it? Just say yes.
Yes, I do want it. But so then the first thing I think is, how am I going to get that done?
Yeah,
What
but
am I
that's
going to
the
do?
how is the strategy, right? You know
Right,
this.
right. So I thought, oh, I need to meditate on this. I need to take some deep breaths. I need to let go of anything's tied to it, because if it's meant to happen, it will happen with grace and with peace.
Yes. So I would
Ah.
encourage you, there's probably a huge breakthrough if you take the words I need
Out of my
and
vocabulary.
say I get to.
I get to.
Because
I
here's
knew
the
it
thing,
was.
14,000 points means a lot of people's lives improved.
Hmm.
Grandmothers able
Yeah.
to pick up their grandkids, grandkids get rid of their cough,
Mhm.
right? All of these things that you're on a mission. You're on a wellness mission.
I am.
You're on a peaceful mission to bring peace and harmony into homes. And the biggest problem that most people have, the reason they have arguments is A, they don't sleep, and secondly, they ain't got enough money.
Mhm.
You got a pretty good handle on both of those and a proven track record of 20 plus years. And the universe is kind of giving you a little kick in the cheeks going, I did it by the middle of the month. Well, so you have to sit back. So here's the thing. A lot of times we never study success. Why do you think it effortlessly came to you, something you were trying to hit on a month, and the universe said, done? What was your energy? What was your frequency? Was it being with your grandbabies? Was it being with wherever you were? Wherever you just traveled, you were in an energetic frequency that you were serving the world, and the world said, well, reciprocity, baby.
Hmm. Yeah, I wasn't worried, right? I wasn't worried about how I was going to do it, what I was going to do. It just happened.
And you had that thing that we always talk about. You won't believe what happened. I did it in half a month. I promise you, it was your frequency and your energy. You get lucky. Everybody go, oh, you get lucky. The company sends you this. They send you that. They call you this. It's not luck. It's frequency. It's vibration. And you've probably let go of a few things that you didn't. I don't want to say that you were holding on to, but you chose not to have in your space.
Right. So it didn't serve me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So now it's the identity. I haven't done 14,000 points in a few months, and who am I going to be when I do 14,000? How could I do that? If I did, I know I could do it, and I just got to get to do it. Sit in peace. You do it, great. You don't do it, you're great. But just know that it's done. Imagine the trip, who you go with, what you do. Ask the universe, what's the price you're going to pay? The price you're going to pay is meditation, is the new people on your team. Oh, more people I got to take care of, right? It's just whatever you're going to say, right?
Yes.
I want it, but I don't want. Oh my God, it could be. I will.
And that doesn't serve me. So let it go.
Well, so here's the thing. Everything serves us. It's not the result we want. Everything serves us. Getting mad at somebody served us. It served us in the moment. We just have to be conscious and aware and think, is this the result I would want in 6 months? Is this the feeling I would want in 6 months? If the answer is no, then don't have it now. Be strong enough to say, isn't that fascinating?
So I knew when I asked you that you would have a simple, basic answer that I'd be like, so I appreciate that. Thank you.
You are welcome.
I just made it harder than I should have or could have, whatever. Yeah.
But part of it is the identity that things, if you're not efforting, you don't feel you should be rewarded.
Right. If I'm not working for it.
But you are working for it. Look what happened. You're working for it in a way that's not the strategy of it, but you're working in a way that allows that strategy to flow into you.
Hmm. Hmm. That's
And
good.
it's the peace that you've asked for.
Yes.
Ah, but I don't want it this way. I'm sorry, the universe says I'm doing the best I can, lady. Give me a break. It's
Yeah.
giving you what you want, and just say, thank you, I'll have another.
Thank you. Yes.
Because we're so often the ones giving it. We're so often the ones helping other people have it. And we love when they have it. But when it happens to us, it's like, I don't I don't know if I worked hard enough for that. Do I really deserve? Yeah. Oh, no problem. Oh, the universe goes, so there was a problem?
So I've learned from you to delete those words of no problem, to say it's all good.
Yes.
And it definitely feels so much better.
Yes. And now look at what, in changing those words, what happened in half a month. I don't know if that's part of it, but I know that it's part of it.
Hmm.
Right? It's all good. It's all good. 6,000 and a half a month. It's all good. 14,000. It's all good. It's all good. It's all good. Goody, goody, good, good, good.
I'm gonna have to get a shirt made with that.
It's all good. IAG. It's all good. Good. I love it.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, and I really enjoyed being able to share with you that I talked to Larry Prophet. That's so, it was just,
That is so way cool.
isn't it way cool? It was just, yeah. I mean, and
Yes,
Dave
it
Johnson,
is.
there's no, because I said to Dave, I go, why did you reach out to me? And Dave does what Dave does. He's got if you ask Dave, there's people in this world, if you ask him what time it is, they tell you how to build a watch. Dave's got
That's true.
amazing stories, and I could listen to him all day long. It was so awesome to have a conversation with him. Because when he went, wow, I went, okay, stop. Because that's what he was known for. Wow. On the conference calls and everything. I said, you used to say that on conference calls. He goes, when did you hear that? I said, in Nikin about 22 years ago. Oh my goodness. It was so awesome. Who else
So
thought?
he didn't remember? I'm sorry, he didn't
No, he
remember
didn't
that?
know me. I was a bought silver. Nobody knew me. I didn't know. No. I've been to a couple of silver trainings, but he was West Coast. I was Tampa, right under the Bonos. And
Ah,
so he never came to town. I saw him on conference calls and when they do, events and get on, the teleconference calls before we had all of this tech. But wow, everybody, wow, I'm excited. Wow, Dave Johnson, wow. It's like, okay. So yeah, but I said, yeah, Steve and Barbara Bono back when they were Steve and Barbara.
yeah. So my claim to fame is that I gave him a rollout and in the middle of a sentence, he fell asleep. So
Oh,
I think I did a good job. I don't believe that I was boring, but
no. That's awesome. He's just a peaceful man. That's my impression. And today can kind of confirm that. So
Mm.
love it, love it. Small world, right? Small world.
Yes, yes.
Yeah. Wow. Anyone else? Any last thoughts, comments, questions, takeaways? Take with you. It's a beautiful night. It's going to be down to 27 tonight. What's going on with this weather? Had to plug in all the pipes back again and put heat lamps out for the sheep and the chickens. But we did it. I'm so glad we did it before the sun went down. Normally we'd be doing that oh, we forgot about the thing, and we'd be doing it now. Not a good idea. All right, my little eaglees. Thank you for spending some time with me on chapter 11, The Science Getting Rich, acting in a certain way. It is, if you just spend the rest of the evening, do this for yourself. Before you act, before you do an action, eat, go to the bathroom, take a shower, go to bed. do it in a certain way. Do it in the way of grace and honor. Do it in the way that your wildly successful self would do it. Would you put on, do you have a pair of satin pajamas that you would put on that you wear for a special occasion? Why not this be the special occasion? Do you want to make a little nightcap before you go to bed? Do you want just something? Do it in a certain way. This is like when drying yourself off from the shower. Do it in a certain way. Do it in a way that just exudes your confidence, exudes your capacity and capability and your elegance and your sophistication, your wildly sophisticated miracles. Be the sophisticated miracle. One of the things, and I forget which one I was listening to, but it says, maybe this is the Dorothy Brand, whatever, I can't remember the title, but it says, spend an hour and don't say anything while you're at work. Only answer the question, but don't ask, don't speak unless spoken to, but only answer the question in the minimal amount of words that you're capable of. And people will be wildly curious as to if they hear it and pay attention to it, but it just causes you to think and not devalue the dialogue by adding more content. Content isn't serving if you're saying more than you should. So just ideas like that. So enjoy your evening. I appreciate you. Thank you for being in my world. Thank you for allowing me to share an iconic moment in my network marketing history. And I'm so glad I got to share it with you, Ruth, because most others wouldn't know that. And it's like me meeting somebody and going, I met an icon, but you don't know him. So it really sucks for you to have to listen to it. So thanks, everybody. I love you tons. I'm your brain training, acting in a certain way misfit. I'll see y'all where?
At the next
At
event.
the next event.
Yay. All right, everybody. I love you tons. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Stay warm if the wind chill, the freeze is coming your way. We'll see you all in the morning. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you,
Bye for
Sean.
Thanks, Sean.
Bye.
Good night,
Thank you.
everybody. Love you guys.
Mañana.